Valued current and future clients and our equity investors and stakeholders. My name is Devin Cassidy, and I'm the CEO and founder of Kanata Media Inc. Kanata Media Inc. is, of course, a proudly Canadian digital media and web design firm, company headquartered in Vancouver, BC. Reflecting the needs of current and future customers, we have a corporate outlook that sees us opening an additional office in both Toronto and California when operational finances permit. To best reflect our founding corporate mission to be a truly Canadian company, c'est une entreprise vraiment canadienne, we are currently developing the means to serve clients for both content, digital media, and web design dans les deux langues officielles canadiennes, français et anglais. And of course, we do have the goal of integrating in some form Cree dialect where financial and consumer realities allow. Of course, Cree is the most commonly spoken Indigenous language in Canada. And while admittedly it's not currently a particularly large business market, I'm sure there are opportunities both down the road as well as obviously for our branding as a truly Canadian company. We feel that it's important to incorporate some aspect of Aboriginal culture into our products. Visitors to our company website, www.kanatamedia.com, or any of our subsidiaries, Chronic Culture, Kanata Collective, Learn Franglais ou Apprendre Franglais, and finally Canada Real Estate Club, and any of our subsidiary content will better understand our core offerings and services for consumers and clients alike. A brief rundown on our corporate assets and core services offered. Our 3 corporate and 1 minority-owned online media and content platforms, once again, are as follows. Our entirely corporate-owned online properties are first and foremost Chronic Culture ou Culture Chronique, c'est l'expérience canadienne, www.chronicculture.co. Kanata Collective ou Collectif de Kanata at www.kanatacollective.ca. Et finalement Franglais ou Learn Franglais, Apprendre Franglais at www.franglais.online. A Canadian bilingual learning resource is obviously our long-term goal with that. We've started to integrate academic content and learning measures for an interactive experience, but of course it's a work in progress as we are still in the startup phases. And finally, our minority-owned property is Canada Real Estate Club, where we retain a 49% minority equity stake issued in non-dilutable ownership shares. Of course, this sees the private owners who own the majority stake of it able to make business and investment decisions, but it also allows us to have a long-term stable form of income for the development services rendered therein. Our core services currently offered to current and future customers are as follows. Legally repurposed and original content creation to meet the multi-platform needs of prospective clients. Obviously, we're currently doing that primarily in English. We do have some components that we've integrated in French. That is a work in progress. And with the right venture capital, it will be much easier for us to integrate those components. Second, we have front and back end full stack content consulting through our SCC or Script Content Consulting Service. This is our web development service that focuses primarily on front end web development. Admittedly, we use the Wix development platform, which is a phenomenal web development platform, and of course they handle the back end quite competently. We just feel for future cost savings and to be competitive that there is an argument to be made to have some core competencies in back-end web design development. Once again, all of our core services, including web design, are intended to be offered en les deux langues officielles canadiennes, anglais et français, but at this time are primarily offered in English. And once again, due to prevailing market conditions, this is a service that without significant government funding would be unlikely to offer in an Indigenous language, just as a reality of market demand. Interested parties are once again invited to visit www.kanatamedia.com for a detailed list of our core services offered and their applicable pricing. A detailed list of core services offered and that applicable pricing, has also been included in our service brochure, which is available for download on the website. So moving into our current asset valuation and equity share structure, this has been a bit of an up and down experience, as is the case for many North American startups. Although we do have established venture capital partners, it's primarily, as I said, in the stage A category. So we have yet to have a truly experienced financial a competent financial advisor approach us to do an equity valuation. And acting as a CEO, I do admittedly have a Canadian securities certification that gives me some competencies in share valuation. Um, and while there have been times where we've fluctuated upwards, moving towards the $1 million mark, uh, we do feel that at this time, a competent valuation, if we were to be approached for a sale, would be around $200,000 Canadian, just as a reality of market conditions and ongoing competition. Although, once again, we are confident with the right equity investments and a few smart business decisions, we can bring that valuation back up fairly quickly. All of our share sales up to and including current ongoing potential investment have stayed firmly within the legal framework of the British Columbia private issuer exemption. We did at one point incorporate a national incorporation for the firm, but just due to financing restrictions and once again the lay of the land business realities, it didn't at this time make sense for us to restructure the British Columbia company into the federal Canadian company. Once we move into the firm category of stage B equity sales, once we have a certified financial advisor do a competent valuation before we do that, if of course we don't find a suitable purchaser before that time, at that point we can look at moving into a national Canadian corporation. Although, to be honest, for our long-term corporate outlook and goals at this time, the way that I see it, my understanding of it is we might be able to make this work as a British Columbia incorporated company. So, as I mentioned earlier, but just as a clarification for interested investors and anyone who decides to take the time to do an asset valuation, as the current CEO, I'm also the majority shareholder of the company. We think that's important because long-term investment and business decisions obviously remain solely in my hands at this time. And obviously there's a certain level of care and dedication given to a business when, the person running it retains such a significant ownership share. And I think entrepreneurs and business persons alike would largely agree with that. But other than that, that is a good initial rundown of the company, its equity structure, a brief look at what our long-term corporate outlook would be, and of course, as we said, opportunities for a potential acquisition from an interested party. We will definitely touch back base in the coming weeks with a more detailed update and outlook on the issues and corporate valuation and outlook that we have just touched upon. But for the time being, I thought it was important to at least upload some form of audio or video file to provide context and, dare I say, inflection to the share offerings and prospectuses that I have been circulating. So hopefully this has provided some context and clarity for anyone who has been looking at our company and either eager to invest, purchase, or just frankly curious about it and wants to do me and my investors a favor and speak positively about us to anyone who's listening. So once again, my name is Devin Cassidy. Our company is Kanata Media Inc. We are a proudly and bilingual digital media and web design Canadian firm. And yeah, we look forward to continuing on this business adventure, and we'll update you in the coming weeks. Thanks for listening.